I went to SummerSlam 2025 at Metlife Stadium. It was the first ever two-night SummerSlam in history, and I brought along with me my son, and it was his first ever WWE event, first ever wrestling show, and we are about ready to tell you all about it. But I'm not sure where he went, actually. Sam? Sam, where are you? Sam? What? What's up, guys? Birdman here, and we are talking SummerSlam 2025. Now, my son Sam was supposed to join me for this, but I'm not sure where he went. I can't see him anywhere.
Dad, I'm literally right here.
That's so weird. I hear him, but I can't see him. I'm starting to think my house might be haunted.
You've caught a ghost. I can't see it.
Alright, so all kidding aside, let's get down to business. Here he is. This is my son, Sam, and we went to SummerSlam. It was his first ever WWE event, first ever wrestling show. So what did you think, Sam?
It was awesome.
It sure was.
It is August 2nd, 2025, and it is Happy SummerSlam Day. Sam, we're in the car. We're ready to go to SummerSlam, day one. What do you think? Are you excited?
Yep.
Yeah, what are you most excited for?
One of my matches I'm excited for is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, but that's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. We are about to head down to Metlife Stadium. Should take about an hour and 20 minutes, something like that, to get down there. So it's a nice day today. It's a 0% chance of rain, so we're got clear skies. Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's hit the road. So night one for SummerSlam. We left at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Takes about an hour and a half to drive down there. We did grab some sandwiches on the way so we could do a little tailgating in the parking lot. We got down there to MetLife around 4:15 or so. And Sam, you started to get like super excited when you saw like the billboards and everything, right?
Yeah.
With all the pictures showing the WWE and all the wrestlers and everything. Trust me, he got really excited in the car.
Look at that! Look at that! I can't believe on that billboard up there was a WWE thing. Oh my god! That's huge. Oh my god! I might literally pass out during this show because I'm so excited. There it is!
So once we got to MetLife, we got in, we got parked. We parked actually right up front, right in front of the stadium. Every time I've ever been there before, I've always ended up parking towards the back. I wasn't sure how that was going to go with getting out. Usually if you're parked, the closer you are to the stadium, the longer it takes to get out. But it actually wasn't too bad. We just got to Giant Stadium, or MetLife Stadium. We're in the parking lot, parked right in front of the stadium. There it is. And right behind us, they're doing the live pre-show back there on the stage. Sam is super excited. What do you think, Sam? Are you pumped?
Yes.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah?
My heart was beating when we were getting here because I was so excited.
We're going to go in soon. We're eating our sandwiches. We got some sandwiches here from Quick Check on the way. We're ready to go in shortly for night one of
SummerSlam.
And then once we finished our lunch, we headed inside of the stadium.
Unauthorized tickets and merchandise may not be sold or resold at Metlife.
And once we got in, we took an escalator. And Sam wasn't too keen on the escalator, were you? You don't like the escalators?
Yeah.
So then we decided to take the stairs, and then Mommy didn't like the stairs, though. We ended up walking up a whole bunch of stairs until we finally got to the 300 level, which is where we were sitting. And once we got up to the top of the 300 level, it was like a ghost town up there. There was nobody, hardly. And of course, we had come up on the complete opposite side of where our seats were. So we had to walk all the way around the concourse, and as we did, we realized why there was hardly anybody up there. None of the like concession stands or anything was open. Was because they did not sell that whole entire side of the stadium for the 300 level. And tickets were pretty expensive. I mean, this is what it's come to with TKO basically outpricing everybody, the average family. It's hard to be able to go anymore, and I wanted to take my son, I wanted to take Sam to experience SummerSlam, and before the tickets got to the point where we can't afford it anymore. But it was pretty good, right? I mean, our seats weren't too bad. We were like on the end zone, and we were directly across from the entrance ramp, and they had a stage this year for SummerSlam, which was pretty cool. Even though we really didn't get to see it, we got to watch it through the big screens, which were all over the stadium. So, I mean, we did get to see them walk out once they got like about halfway down the ramp. But in the future, and I would also recommend if you want to be able to see them coming out of the entrance, probably not getting these seats, get ones that are more on the sides or, you know, closer to the entrance so that you can actually see that. But that's my only complaint on that. I should also mention that on our way around, we did try to check out a couple of the merch stands. Sam was looking for the Yeet glasses because he's a fan of Jey Uso, right?
Okay, fine. Yes, I am.
But we actually couldn't find them. For some reason, they weren't selling them. But I got a program, and it's definitely different from what I remember years ago. You used to have like the paper insert, and you could write down like the winners and the losers, and you know, you always got that insert in the program. Nowadays, it's just basically a picture book with a picture of every wrestler on the roster, all the announcers, everything like that, referees, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's also, I miss the old days when you got the program that actually talked about the matches and you had the inserts, but you don't really remember that, so it is what it is. We didn't end up getting any merch besides that on until the end of the show, but we'll talk about that a little later. We got our seats. We're way up high. What do you think, Sam?
This is really high up.
What do you think, though? He's stumped. What about Punk? I thought you were excited for that.
Yeah. I used to not like Punk, and now I do.
Yeah. You excited for Jey Uso and Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
You gonna eat?
Probably.
Yeah. At about 6:45 on the dot, Alicia Taylor, the ring announcer, came out and she introduced the Spanish broadcast team, Jerry Soto and Marcelo Rodriguez, and then followed it up with Michael Cole and Wade Barrett, of course. We got a great rendition of God Bless America by Breland. I'd never heard of him before, but he sounded great. This was followed up by, of course, the Jets flying over. That was pretty cool. You remember that, right? Right over our heads. That was pretty awesome. Of course, then we went right into the opening video package, which featured Drewski. I'm not sure, again, who this is. I'm not really hip to the times. Do you know who Drewski is?
Absolutely not.
Wow, he doesn't know either.
Don't know. Don't care.
Then, of course, we got Cardi B, who was the host for SummerSlam. She came out. We couldn't really understand what she was saying. It was kind of a lot of yelling and screaming. She got the crowd hyped. She was only out there one time. She never really showed up again. I'm not sure if on the PLE, on the broadcast, if they showed her backstage or in any segments, but this was like the one and only Cardi B appearance.
How much did they pay you for that one, Tiger?
So the opening match kicked off. It was Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, the two Brawns. And this was an awesome opening match. We were trying to find Jey Uso coming down through the crowd. There was just so many people, and eventually we found him. And Sam was over here eating his little butt off. What do you think? It was pretty awesome, right?
It was yeeting awesome.
Yeeting awesome.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
And then, of course, Roman Reigns came out, and Sam put up the ones for Roman Reigns. It was a great, fun opening match. Had lots of spots built up to Roman finally getting the hot tag, getting in there and cleaning house. Roman hit a tope con hilo, dive to the floor. Love the Steiner top rope bulldog spot with Bronson and Braun. They should definitely start doing that move more often. I'm not sure if they have been or not, but that looked great. Roman hit a crazy spear on Breaker through the barricade. Finish saw Roman sacrifice himself to save Jay, and then Jay hit the big splash off the top onto Bronson Reed for the win. Perfect opening match to kick off SummerSlam. Up next, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship on the line with the Judgment Days, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defending against Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. It was a decent match. Charlotte hit a double moonsault on both Raquel and Roxanne. Tiana bomb into the Pop Rocks. That was pretty cool. So the finish came when it looked like Charlotte was going to get some payback on Alexa, but she ended up saving her, and they picked up the win, allowing Alexa to hit the sister Abigail. And then we got new tag team champions, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. I like this team a lot. It gives Charlotte something different. It gets her out of the title picture. And I think a lot of people were kind of getting a little tired of that anyway. And Alexa Bliss wasn't really doing a whole lot of anything either. So I like this pairing as a team. And new tag team champions, we saw the titles change hands. So after this match, we took a little break. We went up to hit the bathrooms and the concession stand. Do you remember what you got?
Cheese fries.
Cheese fries. And I think Mommy got Dippin' Dots. I got some chicken fingers.
You two are making me so very hungry.
Unfortunately, though, we did miss the entire Karrion Kross Sami Zayn match. And how these pay-per-view events or PLE events work, they're very fast-paced. There's not a lot of filler in between. So it went quick. Unfortunately, we did miss the whole match. So if you end up going to a show, I would recommend picking your least favorite match or the one that you're least excited for, and just take your break at that point if you need to hit the bathrooms or get some food.
No kidding.
Up next, we had the Women's Championship on the line as Tiffany Stratton defended against Jade Cargill. This was a pretty decent match. It was a little on the shorter side, and to be honest with you, I thought it was a sure bet that Jade was going to take home the title, but it didn't work out that way. Tiffy reversed a Jaded off the top rope and hit a picture-perfect moonsault, or the prettiest moonsault ever, for the 1, 2, 3, and Tiffany Stratton retained the Women's Championship. Up next was the tag team match everybody was talking about with the most unlikeliest of partners. And so we had Logan Paul teaming up with Drew McIntyre, and they were taking on the team of Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. Yeah, that Jelly Roll. So this was kind of a weird match, a little unexpected. Sam, I don't know what happened, because you used to be like the biggest fan of Logan Paul, and he turned on him.
How could you?
Drew McIntyre had some awesome pyro for this. When we were coming in, I remember earlier in the day, we saw like some black smoke above the stadium, made a joke about hopefully it's not on fire and the show was going to go on. But they were testing out the pyro, which was actually shooting off the top of the stadium like super high, which was pretty cool for Drew McIntyre's entrance. A little bit of a questionable choice in music for Jelly Roll. He came out to Who's Your Daddy by Toby Keith, which I didn't quite understand that, because I mean, like, you're Jelly Roll and you make music, and like you got songs that you could come out to, like your own song.
He didn't ask you your opinion.
Jelly Roll did a great job in his first in-ring match. He hit some big man power moves, which should really be his forte. Logan hit this crazy splash on Jelly Roll through the announce table, and they played up the injury angle where Jelly Roll was being taken out. He saw Randy was in trouble. He was out there all by himself, and he just had to get back there. He had to make the save for him. The crowd really ate it up. The finish came when Drew hit Jelly with the Claymore. Randy hit Drew with the RKO, and then Logan hit Jelly with a big frog splash off the top for the win. And I also would have thought this was a sure bet that Jelly Roll and Randy were going to pick up the win, but Jelly Roll actually went to Triple H, from what I understand, and decided like he wanted to take the loss here, which I gotta commend that. I gotta respect that. You know, he didn't want to be that celebrity that comes in and just gets the win, you know, right off the bat. So, you know, if he decides to come back, he did a great job here. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. And then finally, to end night one, we had the World Heavyweight Championship on the line with Gunther defending against CM Punk. They had a big match feel. They worked a slow pace like you would expect. Gunther dominating Punk. Punk fighting as the underdog. Lots of chops, of course. Punk reversed a half crab into a sharpshooter, which started his comeback. Both of them hitting their signature moves. Gunther with a series of power bombs, a big drop kick, then Punk countering with a flying knee in the corner, the Macho Man elbow from the top into the GTS, but then Gunther reversing it into the Gojira clutch. But Punk fought out of it, and that's when we saw that Gunther had been busted wide open. Punk hit the GTS on Gunther. He was dazed, picked him up, hit it again, and then fell right on top of him for the 1, 2, 3, and then CM Punk, your new World Heavyweight Champion. And Sam was pretty excited about that, but it didn't last very long. So, of course, the worst kept secret in the wrestling business was Seth Rollins with the injury angle. Didn't actually end up being injured. Everyone kind of wasn't sure at that point, but everyone in the building was expecting an appearance from Rollins. He did come out, and we weren't sure if it was just going to be a tease. But then when he took the crutches and pushed them away, I mean, such a cool visual. And then came down, of course, cashed in the Money in the Bank contract, and smashed him with the briefcase a couple times, hit the stomp, and then 1, 2, 3, Seth Rollins became the new World Heavyweight Champion. CM Punk kind of lucked out that night, and Sam was pretty devastated, actually, weren't you? You were really hoping for Punk to win, or to at least take home the belt. I mean, he did win, but it just didn't last too long.
Now he's literally the world champion now.
Well, he is the world champion now, as of the time that we were recording this, so it's redemption, right? And karma, because Seth Rollins is now injured for real.
Oh, yeah, bad juju.
Yeah.
Either way, it was a great surprise ending to night one of SummerSlam. It took us a while to get out of there. I mean, that was pretty crazy, though, walking down the stairs with everybody doing the chants for all the different wrestlers. If you ever go to a WWE show, you know what I'm talking about. The fans just get crazy. They make it so much fun to be a part of that experience. So then once we got out of the building, we actually hit up the merch stands. They had some trucks set up outside. Surprisingly, they had a lot of options left to choose from. So we checked out the shirts, and Sam got a SummerSlam hat, and we both got matching shirts, but they weren't these. They were these. Check them out, right? Matching shirts. See, stand up a little bit, show it off. Yeah, there you go. We got the John Cena, we got the Cody Rhodes, we got the SummerSlam hat. Now you can't see his face. All right, turn around. See what's on the back? I was here, SummerSlam 2025. Mine says the same thing. Trust me.
Wow, that was weird.
On the way out to the car, we ended up catching Seth Rollins with the World Heavyweight Championship. Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, The Vision out there on the stage, which was like literally 100 feet from our car, if that, on the stage doing the post show. So we caught that real quick. I don't know how much you could see because it was kind of hard to see over. There was a massive crowd out there, but I snapped a couple pictures, so that was cool. And then we headed home and did it all again the next day for night 2. We're going to SummerSlam night 2. We're in the car. We're about to go pick up our sandwiches for lunch, put them in the cooler, and eat when we get down there. What are you most excited for tonight?
John Cena versus Cody Rhodes.
Who's going to win?
John Cena.
John Cena. That's the prediction from Mr. Sam. All right, we're about to head down there. Ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. So the next day, we got there around the same time for night 2. Once we got in, we went up to our level again, but this time everything was open on the 300 level, and all the seats that were previously tarped off for the night before that weren't sold, they ended up basically selling everything up there for night 2. The ticket prices had dropped down to about $80. If you wait sometimes till the day of the show, they drop the prices down a lot of the time so that they could fill those seats. Would have saved us some money, but then again, probably wouldn't have been able to go for night 1, and we also would have taken a risk because if they hadn't dropped the price, then we might not have gone at all. At 6:45, same deal as night 1. We got all the introductions of all the announcers, and then we had God Bless America, sung by Tiger Lily Gold. Again, I'm not sure who they are, but they sounded great. I think they're like a country duo. No Cardi B on night 2, but we got Triple H to open the show. He came out and let us know that
if you thought last night was something, you ain't seen nothing yet.
the opening match for night 2 was Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Naomi, with Naomi defending the Women's Championship. We got a special entrance for Naomi. She was played out to the ring by her father. I didn't know he was a musician, but that was a pretty special moment. It was a great back and forth match with lots of great spots and false finishes. Rhea hit a version of the Riptide off the top rope to Io. It looked like that was going to be it, but then Naomi snuck in the back door and rolled up Rhea for the 1, 2, 3, and Naomi retained her Women's Championship. Sam was a little bit disappointed in that, but it was a great match to open night 1. Probably one of the better matches on the show. So after this, they started to set up the ring with like a million ladders and tables and chairs, because for the next match, we were getting some absolute carnage. And being that it was a TLC match for the tag team titles, right before the match started, they introduced to the live crowd the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys, who were in attendance. 2 of the 3 teams that made this match famous put this match on the map. So that was kind of cool to see. So the Street Profits were out first, followed by DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, Andrade, and Rey Fenix. And then, of course, the tag team champions who were defending, the Wyatt Six. The only thing is, I kind of think they should have switched a couple matches or put this one later on in the show, maybe right before the main event, as just the Wyatt Six coming out with the Fireflies in broad daylight. It's just not the same. Doesn't really do it. So it would have been cool to see, all the Fireflies lit up in the stadium had it been on when it was dark out. But again, that's what you get in an open air stadium. Some of the best spots, Rey Fenix hit this insane super high frog splash off the top to the floor through a table. Axiom and Montez hit this sick Spanish fly through a table on the floor. Then all the girls got involved with Candice LeRae and Nikki Cross. And Candice LeRae took this insane-looking bump off the top of a ladder to the floor, through a ladder. That was nuts. I was hoping that she was alive. She was fine, but that might have been the bump of the night. Eric Rowan then got involved. Ciampa did this ridiculous spot where it looked like he was going to be taking the spear like Edge and Jeff Hardy did back in the day, while Ciampa was holding on to the belts in the middle of the ring. But at the last second, he pulled himself upside down, hanging up there like a bat. Just crazy strength from Ciampa. I've never seen something like that before. That was awesome. DIY got knocked off the ladder through 2 tables on the floor. Uncle Howdy got involved, took a sunset flip powerbomb through a ladder, and in the end, the Wyatt Six retained the belts. I mean, this thing was like a car crash. Up next, we got the Women's Intercontinental title on the line with Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. Me and Sam did some of the woos for Lyra. Woo! Becky Lynch came out to a new theme song, debuting her new music there. It kind of fits her better. I think it fits her heel persona better. I like it. They worked a great match. Becky used zip ties on Lyra, but at one point, I guess they came loose, from what I understand, although we really couldn't notice from our vantage point. The crowd did kind of, they were kind of rough on this match. I guess everybody seemed to be getting a little restless. There was a lot of the wave going on and just people chanting stuff that had nothing to do with the match. Personally, I found it a little bit disrespectful because I thought these ladies went out there and really busted their butts and put on a great match. It was a no DQ, no countout match, so they also made use of lots of weapons. We got a pipe, a kendo stick, chairs, the fire extinguisher. Lyra hit this really cool no-handed moonsault while she was still in the zip ties. She then did a Samoan driver off the steps to the floor. That looked like a nasty landing for Becky Lynch. Becky hit the manhandle slam through a couple of chairs for a 2 count. And then Bayley came down. She got involved. It looked like she was we weren't sure if she was going to go after Lyra or Becky. She ended up helping Lyra out, taking the fight to Becky on the floor. Lyra hit a huge leg drop on the floor, through a table. And then, unfortunately, Bayley ended up costing Lyra the match by accident. And Becky Lynch hit the manhandle slam again to retain her Intercontinental title. But it was a heck of a match, even though the crowd could have been a little more respectful.
Respect! Pah!
So up next was the United States title on the line in a steel cage match. We had Solo Sikoa defending against Jacob Fatu. We did miss a good portion of this match as we used this opportunity to hit the bathroom. Might have got something to eat, I don't really remember. But when we came back, we saw about half of the match, I think. So it was pretty much your standard cage match. Jimmy Uso came down to help Jacob Fatu when Solo's guys kept getting involved. At one point, it did look like Jacob was going to escape the cage. And then Tala Tonga came over, kicked the door full force right into his face. And that allowed Solo to get out of the cage through the door. And then Solo retained the United States title. Afterwards, we got a little back and forth in the ring. And Jacob kind of getting his revenge on some of Solo's guys. And then Jacob went up to the top, hit this moonsault off the top of the cage. That was crazy. I think that would have been a little better, though, had they actually incorporated that into the match. Up next, we had the Intercontinental title on the line with Dominic Mysterio defending against AJ Styles. Who were you rooting for here?
AJ.
AJ, but now you kind of like Dominic. He kind of grew on you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good back and forth match between the two. There was a lot of callbacks to Eddie Guerrero, of course. Eventually, we got a ref bump, and then Dom hit AJ with his boot. And then ended up picking up the win, so Dominic cheats another one, retains the title. At this point, we got Stephanie McMahon coming out to announce the attendance for Night 2 at 60,561, with both nights bringing in a total of 113,722 fans. And then it came time for the main event of Night 2, the final match of SummerSlam 2025. A big match feel with John Cena defending against Cody Rhodes. And I know this was what you were most excited for, right? And especially because John Cena turned back babyface just the night before on SmackDown. They kind of did some course correcting with the heel turn that just never really worked out well. But of course, I mean, John Cena back as the good guy and Cody as the good guy. So, I mean, it was going to be this epic showdown. Sam was super excited, right? He couldn't wait for John Cena to come out. Cody came out. He got a special entrance with some words from his father, Dusty Rhodes. We could hear him. Again, we couldn't really see him because of our vantage point was blocked out, so we couldn't really see the screens. But nonetheless, a pretty special entrance for Cody. And then, of course, John Cena came out. It was no more black and white. It was back to colors. And John came out to a huge ovation. Sam was super excited. got a hug to start the match, but then they were off to the races. This was a street fight, and they made use of lots of plunder during this match. We got Cena tossing the ring steps out of the ring into Cody. That was crazy. We got dueling chairs, standard movesets for each guy. We got the 5-knuckle shuffle. We got the bionic elbow, the Cody cutter. A pile driver from Cody couldn't pick up the win, and then Cena popped up, hit the attitude adjustment out of nowhere, turned it into the STFU. But of course, it's a street fight, no rope breaks here, and that's when it started to get wild. Cena hit an attitude adjustment from one announce table to the other, then a top rope leg drop, which looked like it might have been it, but then somehow Cody kicked out. They went back out to the floor, and this time fought through the crowd. There was this really cool visual where they disappeared underneath the stage, and then Cena came up through Cody's trap door that he comes up on through for his entrance with Cody on his shoulders. He brought him back down to the ring. Cody then hit a crossroads. Cena kicked out. At this point, he was getting frustrated. He undid the bottom rope, took off the turnbuckle, and smashed Cena with it a couple times. He tied him up, choked him out with it, and then hit 3 crossroads for what seemed like it had to have been it, but somehow out of nowhere, John Cena kicked out. That was insane. Cody then is thinking, what do I possibly got to do to beat this guy? So he went over and he grabbed the title belt. Looked like he was going to hit Cena with it, but Cena popped up, hit him with the AA, hit him with a second AA, and then took him to the top rope for a third super attitude adjustment onto Cody for the 1, 2, and somehow Cody then kicked out. Just an unbelievable match. An all-time classic in the making. Cena then set up a table in the ring and went for another top rope AA. Cody fought out, hit Cena with the huge top rope Cody cutter, and then a stunned Cena tried to get to his feet. Cody gave the final salute, and that's when he hit Crossroads again for the 1, 2, 3, and Cody Rhodes, again, your new WWE champion for the second time. But this match, I mean, is definitely in my book match of the year. I don't think with what they got left, there's no way anybody's going to top this one. Phenomenal match between Cody and John Cena, and it was so cool that we got to be there and experience that. You being, a big fan of Cena, you got to be there for his final tour, before his farewell. So this was a really special moment. I'm glad that we got to witness that. I think the crowd was a little more pro Cena than Cody, but by the end of this match, I mean, everybody was on their feet, giving them a standing ovation, respected the heck out of both of these guys. And it looked like the end of the show, John Cena had his moment. Cody left him out there, to say thank you to the fans. But then, of course, at this point, we got that sound out of nowhere, and Brock Lesnar made his return, and in what was shocking. I mean, everybody in that place went completely insane, came out of their seats, jaws on the floor. Nobody in the world expected Brock Lesnar to return, and that's what he did. He came out, he hit Cena with the F5 and left him laying, and then eventually we got, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar out of this. But in terms of surprises, totally unexpected. And I mean, I was actually we were all thinking that it might have been The Rock finally showed back up, especially because they were even selling his t-shirts at the merch stand. But it was Brock Lesnar, and it was a total shocker to end Night 2 of SummerSlam 2025. And I mean, a great show, top to bottom. I'm glad that we both got to go. I'm glad that SummerSlam, the biggest SummerSlam of all time, got to be your first show. I think Night 2 did have the better matches versus Night 1, but overall, a heck of a show, a great time. Afterwards, we did make our way out to the parking lot, and we did catch Becky Lynch doing the post-show, and then Cody came out. But this little guy was pretty tired, pretty beat. Plus, it was insanely loud to the point where it's almost unbearable out there in the parking lot. But it was cool to be able to catch that on the way out. And we got out of the parking lot in pretty much record time. on night 2, just like night 1, and a great time. I can't say enough. So that about does it for our review of SummerSlam 2025. What was your favorite part?
Jey Uso coming out.
Doing the yeets.
Yeah.
And then anything else?
And well, John Cena coming out of where like he comes for his entrance.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. John Cena, and you got to see him on his final farewell tour.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you can, please like and subscribe, and let us know what you thought. If you were there, and if you brought your child to SummerSlam, also what they thought about it, what you thought about it, what your favorite parts were, what your favorite matches were, and we'll chat in the comments. But again, please like and subscribe. It'll really help me out, help the channel grow. And again, thanks for watching. And what do you think, Sam? I can actually see him now, at least. Do your thing. Do your thing. He's not going to do it. Oh, yeet!